This is just AMZN on Thursday, March 11th, 2021. I've got the same call, the 3150 call that we're looking at here. We opened up, gapped up. We're really right onto this line. So a nice gap up from the sell-off we had yesterday. And we were pretty much sideways, just flat on the day, ran into the actual 21 on the daily. And on the 3100 call, we actually pulled back really close to the closing price from yesterday's uh, last candle here, and then really just put in a great hammer right here, a little bit larger than $100 risk for that hammer. But it came right back down into the same low, right at 6. Actually, the low on this candle was 6. This was 5.99. Um, even though the candle was making a higher low here. So this would have been a great candle to get into going bullish. I really wanted it to pull into this 21 on the 5-minute. It just didn't do that. I was looking for a little more of a triangle. Like it kind of, I mean, there's definitely triangles here. You can connect the highs like this. You can kind of connect the lows, but it's definitely offset. So kind of the cleaner way to look at this is really just kind of going up at a steeper angle and then more like a flat top. And so drawing the red line in, just going straight across, this we just went sideways all day and just sat on this line. And once I drew this in, I'm like, this thing's not going to sell off. Once it dropped below the 21, thought, okay, there's a chance. Nope, it's just going to hang out here. It's hanging out on this red line. It's really actually 3110. Yeah, it's really close to the same level. So I drew on this one in like 3102, and this one I drew in at like 3110. So it looks like it's almost identical, but yeah, not quite. And then, so this would have been a great entry on the 3150 call. Just getting in this candle, I don't know if it would have filled if you got in, like if you waited for this candle to close and then tried to get in, on this range, like maybe doing 675 by 575, or maybe you would have had to go out a little further. Um, like to the 3175 call or something to get a little better price, but it worked. It made it up for on a Thursday for a 4-hour trade. So even if you got in 7 by 6 or a little bit below 6, that it went up to 11. That would have been 4 hours. So that would have worked. The other thing I thought was interesting here is the puts. They really just, they just sold off all day. So we kind of grinded up and then sideways. And the call lost money all day, but the put also lost money in it. It kind of lined up. So I drew this in later in the day, and it's like, oh, the lows here we broke down in this candle, and then they really do just kind of tag this again over in here and just stay below it. So I thought that was really interesting how things lined up. So this was the candle that actually closed above all of the or at least close. Yeah, it was the highest close other than the open candle, I think. So this was 3109.11 and this was 3109.12. Oh, no way. Okay, so 1 cent above the opening candle. So this candle actually closed 1 penny higher. This was the candle on the put that broke down through this line, and at this point you needed to be in on the 3150. Now if we go out to like the 3175, that I don't like that volume at all. Okay, the other one I was looking at today was 3160, and I was drawing kind of the similar line. This had a little better volume. So this was the candle I was talking about. This was a much smaller range. You could have been getting into this one or over in here. It could have been getting in 6 by 5. Granted, it did dive down a little bit below 5 here, but it put in a really nice base at 6, put in a really nice candle here. Nice hammer again there. So you wouldn't need to be in on this, because even this candle getting in at the close 725, this was more than $100 risk here. So this still, let's see, even if you got in, let's say you got in at 750, it didn't touch 750, 770, 8. I don't know. If you got it at 8, 4 hour was really tough. It barely got above 12. So, I mean, that's getting in here. It's already breaking out. You want to get in after it, it rests a little bit. So it rests a little bit. Maybe you could have gotten an entry a little better than 8, a little bit below that. But it didn't pull back, didn't get back into the 21 until much later. But the move was over from this candle to this candle. Like that was it. This was the high of the day. High wave candle. We barely got above the 21, and then just really went sideways for 4 hours. So actually about 4.5 hours. So that was it. That was, this was the move, anywhere in here, that hammer, and then a really nice high wave candle at, really kind of a resistance here right into the 21. So I'd like to see some more rest. This is a little bit, obviously, but it's what the smallest candle we've had in a couple weeks. Maybe, what was the range today? Almost 50 points. This was a little more than 50. This was 45. Okay, so this candle was smaller, and this was 24th last month. So what's that been? Yeah, about 2 weeks or so, a little more than 2 weeks. Yeah, a little more than 2 weeks since we had a candle this small. So last time we had a bullish candle this small was way up here, where we were really starting to reverse a little bit. So that could be the start of something here, some sort of reversing. This is a small doji candle, some indecision, lighter volume. But I said yesterday, at this point, we had a move up of about 8%, went a tiny bit higher today. So this is still quite a sizable rally here, but we'll see if we can push through the 21 and keep on going. There's some more resistance ahead, some of these highs in these bearish candles. So we're just kind of have to wait and see. But it is nice that we closed above this line. I thought we'd have some definite resistance here. We had a high wave candle way back over here, way back over here. So this is, we were due for a high wave candle right in this range. We've done it plenty of times before at the same area in here. So between like 3125 and 3100, like we've done some high wave candles in the last couple of months. We came down into this level. So this is still our retest zone. I mean, I could duplicate this line and bring it up a little bit, and you can see, okay, yeah, so here you go. So here's some high wave candles here, high wave candle, kind of tweezer sort of thing. So a lot of indecision here that then we bounced, and we're right into that coming back up from below. So I'm not sold yet on this being the end all be all bullish move. We're going higher from here. I don't know that that's happening yet. I'm cautiously bullish. I said that yesterday, but I'd like to see a little bit more rest here, just to let the pressure build and then break through. But if we rest and start to break down, I'm going to call this a resistance zone. And old support is new resistance, and we'll start looking at what we could do to go back lower, back into some of these lows. So if we can go higher, I think our next area that we could get back up to is this gap. We've not filled this gap yet. It was a bearish retest gap. It retested this day, but this is still open here. So that's the next place that I think we could get up to is like 32 was the low here, like 32.50. So get back up to 32.50 and then see what happens. But that's going to mean a lot more bullishness coming back in. So we'll see if that happens. So anyway, hope this helps. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.